everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 9, 6, and 4. I am now an EVAN-MOOR affiliate, and I'm really excited about it because if you have been watching my channel since the beginning, you know that we have used EVAN-MOOR workbooks since we started. I really enjoy them. This will be our first year using language fundamentals for grade 2. Although I am now an EVAN-MOOR affiliate, I actually purchased this on my own before becoming an affiliate, and I really like the idea of addressing all of these different areas of language arts, from grammar concepts like nouns, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, sentences, capitalization, abbreviations, punctuation, usage, as well as vocabulary and spelling, all in one book. One of the reasons I've always enjoyed using EVAN-MOOR's workbooks is I really like their progression of concepts. I like how they stay on task and stay on point with the grade. A lot of times when you get a workbook that says grade 2, you have no real idea what you're getting, and sometimes I find that they're either far too elementary or far too complicated. But with EVAN-MOOR in general, I've been very happy with how they select their grade level. Now, this new language fundamentals book is Common Core aligned, so I am not a Common Core homeschooler. I don't care and I never look. But if you are interested in aligning what they're learning to the Common Core, it is all laid out for you here. If you live in a state where things like that are more important for homeschool record keeping, this makes it really easy. The book is over 200 pages long, and the way it's organized is that it goes through each of these different grammatical concepts in order. So for example, the first section is on nouns, and it's very clearly labeled at the top, and then you'll have a section on adjectives, a section on verbs, and these sections are not necessarily the same length, then prepositions, and so on and so forth. So that list on the front cover goes in order. And at the very end of the book, you do have a pretty comprehensive answer key, which is just reproductions of each of the workbook pages themselves. Now, when you approach this book, one way of doing it is to progress straight through, so to do all of the noun pages and then all of the verb pages, etc. If you wanted to go through this book in order, obviously it's very simple, you just progress in order. But if you want to go through this book and do a few pages of nouns, a few pages of adjectives, etc., the way that they have numbered them makes it really easy to do. So for example, here you have the first page of the workbook being Nouns 1, and Nouns goes through and they're all numbered until you get to the review pages, and finally to Review 2. And then the next page is Adjectives page 1. So you would have an easy way of like assigning work to students by that little title heading, or you can just use flags or what have you, but it makes it simple to understand what the page is about. I like that each of the pages is fairly contained and swift. So for example, here you have what a noun is, circle the noun in each pair of words and underline the noun in the sentence. Each lesson can be 1 or 2 pages long depending, and here you have it being just 1 page. So here you have Nouns 2, and again it's really simple, it's just circling. So this is a really nice swift way of reinforcing concepts as well as introducing them. So I'm just going to flip through for you so you get an idea of some of the different activities they have. They have fill in the blank, they have circling. I like that the instructional section is always clearly marked and surrounded by this box so that everyone knows where the teaching section is and where the work section is. I like that the page is not too overwhelming. I like that they put words in bold when they want you to understand that this is a concept to understand. For example, a collective noun is in bold here, but they go on through. I also like that they have reviews scattered throughout the section, so you don't need to get to the entire end of any one section before you have a review. Another thing I like is instead of just giving instructional details at the top, they also provide an example so that when the child has to do their own section, they have an example to refer back to. This book is entirely in black and white, however, you will notice these little illustrations scattered throughout, so they keep it interesting. Here you have things like thinking about the best word to fill in the adjective. Here you're talking about vocabulary and different shades of meaning. So this book deals with more complicated things than just the basic, this is where a comma goes, this is where punctuation belongs, etc. So here you have homophones and compound words, different uses between like informal English and formal English. They explain the concepts of root words. The book ends with a section on spelling, where they basically are talking about some of the most common things that we have to learn with spelling, like some of the words that are easily confused, some of the common digraphs, and ideas like trigraphs, as well as consonant blends. And it moves quite rapidly through that, so I would not in any way say that this is a comprehensive spelling program, but each section does a really good job of reinforcing language arts skills that your child should be absorbing at that grade level. And again, as I mentioned, you then have this extensive answer key at the back. Language Fundamentals is available for grades 1 through 6, so if you are interested in further exploring language fundamentals or in purchasing one for yourself, go ahead and check out my affiliate link in the description box down below. Language Fundamentals is also offered as part of EVAN-MOOR's homeschool bundles, so if you're interested in purchasing a whole host of workbooks for each of the subjects that would be necessary in a grade year, you can do that with one click now. So I will link that down below as well. So that is my review of EVAN-MOOR's Grade 2 Language Fundamentals, you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. I would love to know about it if you guys have used Language Fundamentals. As always, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for spending some of it with me, and I wish you the very best day.